Less humid is good, but I saw towards the end there, you're looking at 90 again.
Goes right back up there.
What was it? We had 2 90s last year and a whole string of them this year.
Yeah, at least last weekend, both days were 90, so we've improved on that a little bit, but we'll be back there.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Dave.
That's our news and weather for this Sunday night. Sports is next. Ken, what do you have for us?
Well, folks, let me tell you, if you go to bed now, you're going to regret it, because tomorrow morning, everybody's going to be talking about this edition of Sports Nuts tonight. Let me show you what we have. Greg Norman, the Shark, proves that he does have some teeth in his game when it comes to major championships, finally takes one home. Paul Tracy proves that the hometown guy can make good, very, very good. And we'll take a look at a big, huge trade in baseball, as well as a scary moment for Mike Greenwell of the Red Sox. And if that was not enough, folks, and don't you think it ought to be, we'll be giving away some great stuff, and we believe for the first time ever on Indianapolis television, live sumo wrestling. Live sumo wrestling in our studio. Don't go away. Sports Nuts is next.
Well, I started Kids for a Clean Environment because I thought my friends and I could do
Sorensen. Wow. Sorensen.
Hi again, folks. Bruce the Moose is modeling some great hats that you can win tonight here, courtesy of the U.S. Olympic Spirit Store in Castleton Square Mall. We'll tell you about that in a second, and we'll have a look at the rest of the day in sports. But no, first off, there has been no word on no sign of this missing child just yet. Jeff George still not around. A couple of other holdouts in the Colts camp are back, though. More on that, along with news of a big baseball trade, big day for a hometown guy on the IndyCar circuit, and live sumo wrestling. Yes, live sumo wrestling. It's all coming up. As I said, we'll give you a chance to win one of these great hats that Bruce the Moose is modeling from the courtesy of the U.S. Olympic Spirit Store in Castleton Square. When you hear Bruce the Moose bellow, be one of the first 6 callers at 239-6666, and you'll get your choice of one of those fine hats. All right, the big sports story of the day, folks, from across the pond. The Shark finally proved he could sink his teeth into another major today at the British Open. Let's take a look, see what happened to Greg Norman today over in Sandwich, England. I know you do. There he is. Became only the 2nd player ever to shoot in the 60s in all 4 rounds of the British Championship. Birdie's number 3 there to go to 9 under and take a 1-shot lead. Nick Faldo, who started the day tied with Norman, comes right back on number 2 with a birdie to tie things up. To 4 we go now. Bernhard Langer looking for birdie from 35 feet out, and it goes. He finished 3rd after a 67 today in the final round. Back to Greg Norman at number 6. This birdie goes to push him to -10 and a 2-stroke advantage. Then it was Norman again at number 9. Watch this. From 134 yards out, he will put this one to within 6 inches of the hole. Said he was playing some of his best golf. No kidding. Right there with birdie that hole. Shot of the day, though, at the par 4 17th, Scotsman Paul Lowry. Watch this, at the Eagle 2. He shot 65 today. And a national hero in Scotland today as well. Now it's Faldo, looking for his 4th British title in 7 years, on the tee at the par 3 11th. This one will hit the cup and bounce out. He would birdie the hole, though. On 14, Norman with the chip for eagle, and it almost goes. He tapped in from there for birdie and a 3-shot lead at 13 under. Then he went to 16, a par 3. Birdies to go to 14 under, still a 3-shot lead. And all he needed to do at 18 was tap in for par. A final round 64, he wins it by 2 strokes over Faldo and 3 over Langer. What a day.
What can I say about today? I just played some of the best golf I've ever played in my life. I really honestly can say I can't remember mishitting a shot except the little putt on 17. You know, everything was going exactly where I wanted to go, and it's not very often in your career, in your lifetime, can you say that, and today was just right for me.
Now, he said he doesn't like to brag, but he was pretty amazed with himself today. So were a lot of other folks. He won $154,000, his first major since the '86 British. On the senior tour, today's final round of the Ameritech Senior Open outside Chicago was rained out. George Archer, who was leading yesterday after the 3rd round, was declared the winner. Shot 11 under 135 before Mother Nature took over. It's his first win of the year. Now, the women tuned up for next week's Big tourney in Carmel at the Big Apple Classic in New Rochelle, New York. Rob and Laura Petrie nowhere to be seen, but this is Rosie Jones with a long birdie putt on 13. She shot 71 and finished second. To 18, how about Big Mama Joanne Carner chipping in for eagle? She shot 74, but that's one of those shots that'll keep you coming back. It was Hiromi Kobayashi, though, who put together a final round 69 to win by 4 shots to take home $90,000. Now, a lot of those ladies hop planes out of New York and into Indianapolis tonight. The Women's U.S. Open, of course, is next weekend at Crooked Stick in Carmel. Of course, the Stick hosted the 1991 Men's PGA Championship. There's the flag on the 18th green, where the Open could be decided 1 week from today. Patty Sheehan will be looking to defend her title in front of the fans and the national TV audience. You can see the final 2 rounds here on Channel 6 and ABC. The Stick looked good for John Daly and the guys 2 years ago, and you know what? It's still looking good.
The playing surfaces, the tees, the fairways and greens, really, I've been here 16, 17 years. They are the best I've ever seen them. So, fortunately, I haven't had to worry about the golf course.
They'll get going with practice rounds tomorrow, then the tournament starts in earnest and in Carmel on Thursday. Now, the latest from Colts camp, nothing new on Jeff George. We know he's in Florida. We've pieced together that he wants a trade rather than a new contract, and neither seems much of a possibility. But 2 other holdouts did come in today. The distinctive do could only belong to one guy. Offensive lineman Bill Schultz, number 74, the third-year man from Southern Cal, agreed to a new deal last night. Signed today, worked out this afternoon, started the last 2 games of the year last year at right guard. And kicker Dean Biasucci, who had an up-and-down year in '92, signed and even came in early. How come, do you know?
Had a baby girl, and she cries every night, so I'll get sleep here. I was hoping camp would be a week earlier. It'd be nice to rebound and have a year like I had in '87, '88, '89, have one of those kind of years. I know I got it in me. I've done it. I know I have the other side in me too. I've done that, but I'll do well.
And with Jeff George out, Jack Trudeau is number 1 again. He had the Lions' share of the reps this afternoon. Tom Tupa and rookie Eric White will back him up. Now, Jack will have the usual fine folks on the receiving end of his throws, but, oh, by the way, Sean Dawkins still not in camp.
This week is for their benefit, actually. It's a rookie camp. We think, however, though, that Sean and most of those rookies seem to be, we feel they're pretty good athletes. They're going to help our football team, and we feel that they'll be able to pick everything up once they get here.
Well, Sean Dawkins isn't around, but another first-round wide receiver did sign today, but with the Miami Dolphins. Penn State's O.J. McDuffie, the 25th player taken in the draft, signed a 4-year deal worth $2.76 million. That's total, not per year. The price of rookies is going down thanks to the salary cap. He also gets a $1 million signing bonus. The Finns, well, they've completely revamped their wide receivers now. They got rid of Mark Clayton, Mark Duper yesterday, drafted McDuffie, and signed Irv Fryer and Mark Ingram as free agents. Now, for your first look at America's team since the Super Bowl, with MVP Troy Aikman out with a bad back, Jason Garrett will back up free agent Hugh Millen, a quarterback, for a while. Nice pass there from Garrett to Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Johnson liked the way his offense looked in this scrimmage today at Austin. The Pokes open the preseason 2 weeks from tonight against Minnesota. Of course, they're coming here to play the Colts this year as well. Well, that brings us to our Hardee's trivia question for this week. Name the last Super Bowl champion to miss the NFL playoffs the following year. The answer when we come back on Sports Nuts. Don't go away.
This portion of...
Welcome back to Sports Nuts, everybody. The answer to our Hardee's trivia question wasn't that long ago. The New York Giants missed the playoffs in '91 after winning the Super Bowl after the 1990 season. Well, who says you can't go home again? Paul Tracy showed how it is done today. He won the Molson Indy Toronto, his hometown. Pretty clean start today, but only half of the 28 cars that started the race would be around at the end. Emerson Fittipaldi took the lead for the first 15 laps. He and Paul Tracy would be the only drivers to lead the race today. Andrea Montermini, the rookie, spins off the course here in turn 1, caused a little traffic jam, but everybody made it by okay. Only 3 caution periods the whole day. No big deal, pretty clean race. Some great racing between Tracy and Emo, teammates on the Penske team from Marlboro. Here, Tracy passes Fittipaldi to take the lead. Now, Nigel Mansell, who's been having an amazing first year on the IndyCar circuit after winning the Formula One title last year, went out after 55 laps with engine problems, finished 20th out of the points. That was big. Tell you why in a minute. Tracy led 53 of the 103 laps. He took the checkered flag for the second straight race and third time this season. No other driver has won 3 this year, and nothing better than winning it at home. Paul Tracy wins in Toronto. Now there is a new leader in the PPG points race, with Nigel Mansell failing to finish today. Emo takes over the top spot with 105 points. Nigel has 102, not 105. Nigel has 102. Raul Boisel has 86, and Paul Tracy, look at him, continues to move up. He has 80 points with 7 races to go in the season. He'll try to make it 3 wins in a row in 2 weeks at Michigan. Well, of course, the racing world is still reeling from the death on Tuesday of NASCAR driver Davey Allison, but the race must go on, and it did today at Pocono, where the Allison family's had more than its share of tragedy. 5 years ago, Bobby Allison's career ended after a bad crash. Last year, Davey had a terrible one there, too. They remembered Davey before the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Now to the race. Let's take a look at Sterling Marlin, who spins here but does a nice piece of driving to keep it out of the wall. But the nicest driving on the day, as he has been most of the year, Dale Earnhardt took the checkered flag for his 5th win of the season. And then in a tribute to Davey Allison, Rusty Wallace's crew huddled, flashed the thumbs up sign, and Earnhardt took that Polish victory lap in memory of Alan Kulwicki, who was killed earlier this year in a plane crash, and he also had that number 28 flag for Allison. Well, we'll be right back with news of a major trade in the majors and the rest of the day in baseball. It's all coming up next on Sports Nuts, so don't get over.
Video monitor for Sports Nuts, courtesy of Ovation Audio Video Specialists.
Welcome back to Sports Nuts, everybody. Live sumo wrestling is coming up in a bit. Don't go away. Well, the San Diego Padres fire sale continues in the majors today. They traded first baseman Fred McGriff, who I went to high school with. Did I mention that lately? To the Braves today for 3 rookies, 3 cheap rookies. McGriff was hitting .275 with 18 homers and 46 RBIs. His new team, the Braves, well, they were trying to keep cool. Sid Bream down there at the launching pad in Atlanta. Steve Avery, the pitcher, brought home 2 runs with this single. Brian Hunter and Greg Olson came in. And Avery and 2 relievers combined on a 13-hitter. That's right, a 13-hitter. The record for a shutout is 14 hits. The Braves blanked the Bucks 2-zip. Meantime, the Reds hooked the Marlins in Cincinnati, and they reeled them right in. Former Indianapolis Indian Brian Dorsett was on the beginning of this home run. Hopefully he shows up at the end. He took one deep off Charlie Huff in the 2nd inning, 2-run blast. There's Brian. Then in the 6th, pinch hitter Jack Doherty. Say ya, the Reds 5, the Fish 3. Oh, and the lowly Mets. Boy, they managed a surprising 4-game split with the best team in the West, the Giants, at Candlestick. That was Jeff George, perhaps. Barry Bonds connects for his 26th homer of the year. He leads the league. The Giants had the lead. 3-zip, headed off Pete Schurik. But the Mets woke up. Jeff Kent, one of the guys the Mets picked up in the David Cone trade, goes deep to left to tie it in the 4th. And then in the 9th, big mistake for the Giants. They intentionally walked Bobby Bonilla to load the bases. Dave Gallagher, with only his 3rd homer of the year, 1st grand slam of his career. Surprise, the Mets 12, the Giants 6. Anthony Young did pitch in relief for New York, but did not get the win. On the Mortgage Group of America National League scoreboard, the Phillies, they're still up by 3 games in the National League East after beating the Padres today 6-3. After that game, McGriff was traded to the Braves. LA 2-1 over Montreal. In 11, the Cardinals get to within 3 of the Phillies, beating Houston 7-6. And the Cubs get 8 in the 1st and rock the Rockies 12-2. They only played 7 innings at Wrigley because of the rain. That also washed out the men's senior tournament today. Ooh, what is that sound, folks? Be one of the first 6 callers at 239-6666. Get your choice of one of those great hats, courtesy of the U.S. Olympic Spirit Store in Castleton Square. Now to the American League, and a scary moment at Fenway Park. First inning between the Mariners and the Red Sox. Randy Johnson against Mike Greenwell of the Boston Red Sox. Did you hear that? Unbelievable. Greenwell takes it in the air. He was down for several minutes, unintentional, of course, but he should be okay. Might need some new uniform pants, though, I think. The Sox did rally to win this game 7-6. Now we go to Skydome, where the Blue Jays kept a piece of the East League, that is, by beating the Royals. Only their 3rd win in their last 15 games. The silly putty was out. Mike McFarland homered for the Royals. His 13th put KC up 2-0. Then in the 4th, Willie Cañete, remember that name, Willie Cañate singles to bring home Tony Fernandez. And then in the 9th, Cañate again, who spent some time this year with the Indianapolis Indians, drills his first big league homer with the score tied 3-3. That won it for the Jays 4-3. And the White Sox won their 5th straight to stay in front in the AL West. 3rd inning in Milwaukee, Darrell Hamilton rolls one to Joey Cora, and he throws this nowhere. Pat Listach scores 1-0 Baru Crew. Then in the 4th, Ellis Burks drills his 13th of the year. The Sox tied it at 1, and it was still tied at 1 in the 9th. And who do you think won it for Chicago? Bo Jackson, first pitch from Doug Henry, base hit to right, brought home Tim Raines and Frank Thomas, and the Sox won 3-1. Back to the Mortgage Group of America American League scoreboard. The Yankees get 10 in the 7th tonight, beat the A's 13-6, and stay tied with Toronto atop the East. The Tigers are a half game back after blanking the Rangers 2-zip. Cleveland 2-1 over the Angels, and the Orioles are also a half game back after dumping Minnesota 7-2. Well, the Indianapolis Indians get just 6 hits tonight at Busch against Dave Steve and Omaha, and they lose to the Royals 8-zip. The Tribe has dropped 13 out of 14. They're in the American Association East basement. Iowa is here for 4 starting tomorrow night. When we come back, folks, you will not want to miss this. Live sumo wrestling. That's next on Sports Nuts. I promise. That's going to be me in a couple of minutes, so don't go away.
This portion of Sports Nuts is sponsored in part by Ameritech and Indiana Bell, your link to a better life. Monday starting at 7 on WRTV-6.
Folks, we promised it for the first time ever on Indianapolis television, live sumo wrestling. Matt and Kim from the original Sports Bar at Union Station are here to help us. Now, I got to get into this thing, right? Yes. Now, you do this every Tuesday night. You get a bunch of people who get all liquored up, and they decide, how do we do this? Start at the end? Okay, you're going to put this thing on me like this? I went to college for 4 years to do this. Thank you. All right, my feet are going in here. Oh, yeah, this is going to be easy. Arms here. Okay. Okay. Hope you're going to lift me up, because I'm not getting up, gang. Okay. 2, 3. That was easy. Automatically, I'm like a 350-pound sumo guy. Now, you have to have the top knot helmet here, okay? Just so you don't fall down and can't gouge anybody. I'm getting, oh, these are good little flippers here. Make sure I'm all set up. Thank you, Tim. Now, I need an opponent for this. You may have been guessing. Who else can I get who's dumb enough to do this with me? Let's bring him on.
On the other side of the ring, we've got, that's right, Scott's son Hope coming in right now.
Carlos, our ring announcer.
He's our heavyweight champion, I think, of the sumo world at this time.
If you can get through there, my friend.
He is there. Okay. Live sumo wrestling. You can't find it anyplace else. And what better two guys to sumo wrestle?
Do we have to bow first?
You must bow before you go in, okay?
Okay.
The rule is it's 2 rounds. The first person to knock each other down 2 times, okay? So you must knock each other down, okay? You guys need to bow to one another. Okay, here we go. I like the music in the background. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, sumo! Here they go. They're going at it. Oh, this is a tough fought victory for someone right here. They're going at it. The set's going to be enough. Someone goes down. They both go down. He loses his head. He loses his hair. Let's get you back up. This is the sumo dive. Wait. This is the sumo dive. Wait.
Before you
get him down. Here we go. This is a sumo dive.
So you're down by 1.
Here we go.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my God. Well, only on live TV can you see entertainment like this, a sumo dive. 2 grown men.
Do we have time for me to get back up and get my revenge?
Okay.
Oh, I'm on my knees.
We're going to go best 2 out of 3?
Best 2 out of 3. One more. Okay, so looks like Scott's son won the first one. Looks like Ken's son is very mad. He's going to come back for this one.
We're going to do this.
Muhammad Ali sumo. Here we go. On the count of 3, guys. 1, 2, 3, sumo! Oh, fake move. He's down. And here comes the sumo dive right here. We've got a champion. Give him the sumo dive. Give him the sumo dive. He's getting a running start. He's up. Oh, and a flip into the set. It's pandemonium in the ring. We don't know what's going on.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I'm up. Oh, I don't know if I can flip him up like this. Flip him over. He's a big... Wait. Redemption for Ken. Ken, give him a sumo dive real quick. Hold on. Here he goes. Oh my God. That's right. They're sportscasters. They can do what they want to do.
Now, you guys do this every Tuesday night, right?
Every Tuesday and Friday evening at the Original Sports Bar, and these suits can be rented out. So.
Sounds like a party to me.
Well,
hey, fellas, I'm still down here.
You're going to stay there, pal.
Give him one more sumo dive real quick. Here we go. Here we go. And we'll see it in slow motion in a second, I think. Here we go. Oh, my. Oh, it speaks for itself. This is the Bronco riding of the 90s.
Let's look at that again.
Slow motion.
Slow motion, instant
Where's
replay,
the monitor?
folks. Take a look at your monitors at home and here in the studio.
Uh-oh.
No, we don't have to replay that.
Okay, no replay.
That's all right.
Let's get him up.
I can't believe we did this. Carlos, thank you.
Okay, guys.
Very much. All right, Kim.
Now we have the replay.
Now we have the replay.
Oh, here we
Stay
go.
with
Here
us.
comes the
We've been waiting for
replay.
this.
Look at the monitors. Coming at you right at home.
I really enjoyed doing this. Well, any replay?
Anything.
No, we don't have.
No replay now.
All
Okay,
right,
great.
Sumo
Well,
guy got in.
Sumo was good enough, I guess. I don't know. Wait. Shake mitts. Here we go. Hold on. There we go. A handshake. Bow to one another, please. Very nice. Very nice. And that's sumo wrestling. You can see it every Tuesday and Friday right here at the Original Sports
Way to work
Bar.
out. We'll be back to wrap up this edition of Sports Nuts after you take a look at this. Boy, do I need Nutrisystem or what? Welcome back to Sports Nuts, everybody. Now, you know how it is when you pack to go away for a couple of weeks on vacation and you always end up taking too much stuff? Well, some of the Colts are exactly that way, too. I'll show you what I mean. Up in Anderson on Thursday, when rookies, free agents, quarterbacks, and the injured started showing up at the Colts training camp, they brought lots of stuff with them. They brought lots and lots of stuff. They brought boxes and bags full of stuff. Some of these guys might not even be here long enough to unpack. Got to have a TV to watch sumo wrestling on Sports Nuts. We thought you'd like to know exactly what do they bring for 6 weeks of training camp.
Well, let's see. I've got a computer, monitor, fax machine.
I've got a TV, a stereo, and some clothes. About 3 changes of clothes. That's all I need.
Cordless phone, 2 different answering machines that are networked together.
Just plenty of stuff for my room. You know, bed. I've got an air bed and my wife thinks that this down feather bed on top of that will really do wonders for me. So we'll see.
Camcorder, 2 VCRs, TV monitor.
No games or anything. Just everything I bring up is football. There's no question about that.
That's about all.
Any clothes?
Oh, printer too. Yeah, well, just enough clothes to pack around my stuff so it doesn't click and it doesn't run against each other in the truck when I bring it.
Trevor has quite enough stuff. Scott Oak has gotten out of his clothes. I have not. I'm going to keep it in. Let's take a look at that last dive again. We finally have the slow motion instant replay queued up, or maybe just the instant replay. Maybe not so instant anymore. Here we go.
You look great in the hat.
Thank you. Almost instant.
What a
move. What a move you did there.
That was amazing. That's world class.
You never laid a mid on me.
And he knows he's on camera, too.
You're pretty happy about this.
I am.
Now, aren't you glad? Now, you laughed, you scoffed when I brought this up originally, didn't you? Now, watch. Here I go. Here, I'm going to give you the big kahuna dive. Oh. We got to go, folks. You'll never see anything like this again. Can only be imitated, can never be duplicated. See you later on Sports Nuts. Have fun. See you this week.